Dark Souls 2 Scholar, the first sin here on the Overanalyst channel. My name is Brady, and I'm going to be your host for this afternoon's festivities. Now, if you recall, last time around we actually made a ton of progress, finding the unfortunate fate of King Vendrick, who had lost hope after his attempt to circumvent the unfortunate consequences, that is to say, hollowing of the undead curse, and ultimately retreated to the Undead Crypt beneath his castle and went hollow, gave up, essentially. And we also made our way a bit further to the ultimate truth as to what happened to this land, and maybe the best way to cure it of its afflictions by heading to the estate of his brother, Lord Aldia, who appears to have vacated the premises as well, but left behind the results of his unfortunate and demented experiments. Again, as we're going to find out, Aldia came much closer to actually, like, preventing the hollowing or quote-unquote beating the undead curse than Vendrick did, and both of them came much farther along towards that goal than did Lord Gwyn from the first game, who kind of didn't care about the hollowing at all. And we left off by defeating the Guardian Dragon, who was basically the same exact little dragon that was spawned outside the Cathedral of Blue in this build of the game, who served as the somewhat anticlimactic but very aesthetically pleasing boss of Aldia's Keep. Seriously, this whole area and the areas we're about to explore in just a bit are amazing. But first things first, I wanted to show you guys something. If you recall, there were a number of locked doors along the main path here in Aldia's Keep that we couldn't open, like this one. And in the original build, there was a key you should be able to find somewhere around here that would allow you to access the rooms on the other side of those doors that we just could not find. That's because progress in this area is actually linked to the number of the Forlorn that you manage to kill. You know, the Forlorn spirits we can summon in by lighting the braziers? And apparently, once you defeat all 4 of them, and I think we did, right? 2 guys with scythes, 2 guys with greatswords, you're able to get the key by heading back to the main hall. Jesus. Ease off, Shrek. And triggering the skeleton dragon to come to life, which I told you was something that happened automatically in the original build of the game. It didn't drop the key then, of course. It was just like a jump scare when you entered the Great Hall for the first time. Once you got right up to that skeleton, it would rear to life, and I think it would spawn, or no, it had like its own lock-on targeting reticle. It might have had a health bar or something like that. It was just meant to, like, startle players. It would, like, rear up and lunge at you once, and then just collapse to the ground. I don't know that it dropped anything at all in that game. Or in that build, rather. So I think what Aldia was doing was experimenting on long-lived or otherwise magical creatures in an attempt to replicate their immortality or success in staving off natural death for the undead. Here we go. Oh man, the first time me and my friend saw it. Oh, it killed me. Oh, it killed me. Whoops. We got the key, but it killed me. I did not know it could actually damage you. Or damage you that much, I should say. My bad. That terrified me and my friends when we first saw it back in high school. Oh well, you live and you learn, right? So what we're gonna do... Oh, no, we didn't want to light a torch. Is just hoof it back to the main hall. And I think the dragon should be gone, either gone or inert at this point. But we got what we needed from it, which is the Aldia key. King Vendrick condemned his own elder brother to the mansion. They both sought the truth, but through different means, and their fervor meant the eventual withering of their familial ties. That would be why I presume the gate to Aldia's mansion was sealed by the King's Ring. Aldia was effectively exiled by Vendrick and Nashandra. Remember, at this point the Queen was more or less whispering directions in the ear of the king. That's what caused him to invade the homeland of the giants and such. You get the distinct impression that working together, the two brothers might have actually been able to beat this thing. Yeah, so the head of the dragon skeleton, the head and neck, are completely destroyed. As we were. Let's get all those souls back. Would have been a tragedy to lose those. And I don't know if killing the Forlorn that you spawn with the braziers here actually allows you to get more of their arms and armor from Strayed, or not. Should I kill it for the souls? Yeah, why not? Yeah, there we go. Just spray that curse and don't use your melee attacks, please. Oh. The Dragon Sage Hood. Nice. This is a special piece of armor associated with Aldia's leaders, I want to say? Yeah. Hood worn by the Archmaster of Aldia. Several of the greatest minds converged in Aldia to weave strange new rituals, but rumors suggest that during the course of their work, their thoughts were not their own. I don't think the Dragon Sage has, like, a specific set of armor. They use, just the regular Aldia Acolyte, robes, gloves, and boots. It just had that distinct hood. Oh, this is why I hate running through Aldia's Keep, just all the Shreks. We should be able to get the hell out of here and into the side chambers now, though. Or the side chambers on this side of the hallway. What did it drop? Bleedstone? Alright. There we go. That's what I wanted. There should be a few of these guys in here. Yeah, a few of them and a belfry gargoyle. Huh. Oh, that was a magic firebomb, essentially. What on earth is casting hexes at me? Oh, I tried to knock his shield away. Didn't execute, but... Is the Dragon Sage over there? I don't know. I honestly don't remember any of this. God, there's a ton of them. I'm sure at least one of these chests is a mimic, too, given their love for mimics. Oh, no, it's like a magus. You might be new for this edition of the game. Yeah, that was basically the Prowling Magus again, with slightly different armor. But... huh. Clearly Aldia was willing to resort to anything... Oh, we got their bone shield. Decent, I guess. Anything he thought was necessary to more fully understand immortality. Got a soul. Yep, here it comes. These mimics aren't quite as threatening as the ones from the first game, I don't think. Red eye orbs, another one? Yep, with... Oh, a bonfire ascetic. Okay, cool. And now you... Whoa. Well, that cage was no good at all, was it? He can just jump right through the bars. Ow. Still not great at fighting these guys. You drop anything, though? No, no dice. Bunch of souls, though. Hold on, are you also a mimic? Can we tell? Can we see anything in there? Yep, that looks pretty mimicky to me. Ow. Oh, it technically caught me with the... Okay. I did not think that their grab attack automatically triggered when you attack them before opening them. Like, typically, at least in the first game, and I think in the third, mimics only successfully start chewing on you if you don't attack them beforehand or get hit with a grab attack once they're awakened. Well, that sucked. Let's try that again. Does the Magus respawn? Yes, he does. Good chance to farm some rare gear, I guess? Lucky me, all these acolytes aren't exactly the toughest in the world. Oh. And the mimics don't respawn, thankfully. Oh yeah, this is the Prowling Magus, like same exact moveset and everything. And same pretty low health pool. Anything for us this time? No? We might have the entire Dragon Acolyte set now. More souls, nice. Alright, let's try this a different way. There we go. Dusk herbs, alright. Clearly Aldia was really interested in experimenting on mimics and basilisks. Not entirely sure what their connection to immortality is, but... it is what it is. Is that all we can get back there? Might be. Alright, now... I'm trying to think, is there anything else I want to do before we carry on? Not right now, I don't think. So, let's go ahead and let me take you to our next bonfire, but also... an area even more beautiful than this. Seriously, I love this vista we have, this nice, peaceful sunset view of Drangleic, and it's only about to get more gorgeous as we go, because the next two areas are the most beautiful in the entire series, hands down, in my opinion. So let's go ahead and head on up to a nice little secret of Aldia's that he was keeping, and was paramount to his research. We're heading straight on up through one of those stone spires we saw scattered around the landscape. Oh, get ready. It's breathtaking every time. Huh? No, 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 no! Oh, I pressed the pressure plate again. I'm so sorry. Well, while we're here, Are there any items we might want to check out that we haven't looked at yet? Oh, the Guardian Dragon. I don't know that we looked at its soul. Did we? Soul of a dragon that guards the path to the shrine. Do the dragons watch over the land of their own will, or are they in the grip of one of Aldia's spells? And yeah, these are apparently legitimate dragons, somehow. If you'll recall, at the time of Dark Souls 1, aside from, like, the everlasting dragon secreted away at the bottom of Ash Lake, there was, well, there were no dragons living in, Lordran. Gwen and his forces had exterminated all of them. But they're here, somehow. A different type of dragon, obviously. They're not, kind of earth elementals like the ones we saw in Dark Souls 1, but dragons nonetheless, and they're associated with Aldia and his experiments on immortality and the erosion of the, or amelioration of the undead curse. Up here, we're going to get some more context as to what they were doing, or what he was doing with them in the Dragon Eyrie. Oh god, this area, you guys, it's absolutely lovely. As we can see, there are scores of dragons flying around here, all leading up to that magnificent castle at the top of the world, shrouded in the clouds, with a beautiful, like, sunset horizon. And, our friend the Emerald Herald is here.
Might shatter the shackles of fate. One who can set me free. Bearer of the curse. It was my own manifestation that led you here. The ancient dragon has watched over the world for eons past. Take this.
The Aged Feather. This is really cool. We'll get into it in just a minute.
The dragon welcomes you.
Yep, so we have our task for this little tiny branch of the game. Seek an audience with the ancient dragon who resides in the glorious castle at the edge of the Eyrie. Dragons are back, and they're in full force, thanks in large part, as we'll learn, to Lord Aldia and friends. Hey Val, how's it going? They say stream later in the day, damn it. I'm sorry, when I actually have viewers, for whatever reason, the Dark Souls series hasn't done particularly well with viewership. A lot of our viewers are actually from the UK or elsewhere in Western Europe, and this timeline just seemed like the best natural fit for what American audience I have and, like, our friends from the Eastern Hemisphere. So, right, our Aged Feather we got. Let's take a look at that really quickly. It's super duper handy. Bell says, I'm at work, my guy, keep wanting to tune in. Oh, I got you, man. I could try going back to a 6 to 9 time slot just for Dark Souls, seeing as how, again, this series hasn't done that well, so might as well. Right, the Aged Feather is really, really cool. It replaces our Homeward Bones indefinitely, and it is an infinite use item. It will return you to the previous bonfire you rested at as many times as you'd like. There's a similar item you can acquire in Dark Souls 3, I believe. In that game you can get it a bit earlier, but this is a great late game reward for those of us who want to go back to previous areas and attempt to get little out-of-the-way treasures. The child of the dragon, sequestered away from the world, imagined a world of boundless possibilities from the mere sight of a feather. Not that that tells us a whole lot, but it's there. Let's throw that in a quick slot, and we're never going to take it off. So the Dragon area is actually an extremely straightforward area. All we have to do here is progress on to the castle at the end of the region. There's no boss here. There's not even a whole lot of enemies, at least in the vanilla build. But there are a handful of treasures, many of which are guarded by, well, guardian dragons. And some of their friends. Characters who make very unexpected appearances in this area after not having shown up too often beforehand. Alright, Val, no problem. Thanks for tuning in, man, and letting me know. I may well go to that slot, and I'll keep everybody up to date in the Discord. Hope you have a good rest of your shift, man. So, we've got a series of zip lines. Like, quite a few of them. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take this one. Or no, there we go. Whee! This is great if you want just a direct shortcut to the Dragon Shrine, like no muss, no fuss. But again, there is treasure here, and we kinda want that treasure. These are our friends who make a return. The explosive hollows from the Bastille, and Noblon, again, why not? Can I not backstab him for whatever reason? Whew. Again, we were only able to have such an easy time with him there because we prevented him from getting a single spell off. I can tell you from personal experience, Noblon is a beast if actually allowed to execute his attacks. He has some of the most powerful hexes and sorceries in the game, and yeah, to get all these treasures, we're going to have to fight a guardian dragon again. With backup, of course. From acid explosive hollows. They serve only to do that, to destroy all of my equipment. No, 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 no. Oh, we are definitely gonna need to see the blacksmith after this. Fortunately, on its own, the dragon isn't much more dangerous than the one outside the Cathedral of Blue. It's not quite as mobile as the boss variant either. I think that, like, standard enemy dragons here and in front of the cathedral actually have a more restricted moveset as well. Oh, we actually staggered it. That's that stone ring put to good use. Come on. Let me hit you, damn it. There we go. Over 4,000 souls, that's nice. Ooh. Nice little upgrade material bonanza. Oh, and they broke our Ring of Blades. That's awesome. And our mask. Great. We'll use a repair powder for everything else. Which still didn't help because they did so much acid damage to us. But it's okay. We only have to gather all these treasures once anyway. Oh, no you don't. Oh, yes he did. Dragon Charm. Ring of the Evil Eye +1, that reflects some of the damage we take back on our enemies, I believe. And this is more or less what the dragon area is. A bunch of these arenas, a bunch of little passageways, a bunch of acid-infused explosive hollows, a bunch of gorgeous views. Jesus Christ, this looks like something out of Kingdom Hearts, and I mean that in a good way. Plenty of these Titanite lizards around as well. If I could actually get any of them, it would be extremely lucrative for us. I prefer not to wake the dragons if I could. Oh god, that's one of Aldia's. I think. Like a priest of some sort. Yeah, we actually don't have to wake most of the dragons, I don't think. Oh, hello. Hey, MC, how's it going? We are in the most breathtaking region in the entire series right now, so feast thine eyes. Oh no, right, it's angry because we smashed its eggs. That makes sense. Time to hoof it. Jeez. I'm gonna try to take out that priest and... No. Yes. Oh, they're gonna break all my gear. Which is fine. We don't... It's gonna cost us a ton of souls to get everything repaired. But we're getting this treasure, and then we never have to run back through this specific area again. You drop anything special? Oh no, just a talisman. MC says how not to train your dragon. Or rather, how to use your dragon for really amoral experiments. Dragon bone. Nice. These guys are the real threat, though. MC says, I'm having fun with the heat yesterday and today. Oh, I'm sure. How, like how hot's it been over there? It's been absolutely scorching here. I keep my home like an ice box, but according to my little, like, smart home panel, it's just been brutal outside. Wait, I forgot all about the best way of dealing with you guys. Yeah, there we go. Old Radiant Life Gem. You guys are the worst. And now every single piece of gear I have has been broken. Oh, wow. MC says 86 inside and 95 outside Fahrenheit, of course. Oh, that's awful. I'm so sorry. I have this friend who likes to keep their home in like the mid-70s, and that's way too hot and stuffy for me. I'm kind of unusual because I'm a native southerner who absolutely loves the cold. Not exactly a common opinion around here. So I guess Aldi is responsible for creating these weird explosive hollows as well. MC says, I love the cold but got used to the heat for now. Yeah, I really missed the, like, 2 months of legitimate winter. Sorry, like, month and a half of legitimate winter we get in this part of the country. You get, like, 6 weeks of winter, and then it's, like, just, you know, 10 and a half months of uninterrupted summer. A lot of Ascension materials around here. Not seeing a lot of gear, though, surprisingly. Oh, no, you don't. I mean, what's the point? You've already destroyed, like, all of my gear, but... it's a moral victory, damn it. So the dragon area is just crawling with goodies. Oh, no. We've been invaded by an NPC, and if it's Sharon, I think she's one of the better ones? Yeah. She invaded us at the, Old Iron Keep. And our gear is just totally screwed. If we still had our stone ring, we'd be able to, you know, actually stagger her fairly easily. Oh, God. Time to run like hell. NC says, I caught up with the VOD from yesterday. Congrats on surviving Pitfall Lake. Oh, thank you very much. That's... the Shrine of Amana is a really tricky area, but I think it's actually ingeniously designed for what it is. Infuriating, but never necessarily unfair. Ow. Ow. Jesus. That's what happens when all your armor is broken, I guess. Ah, pulled it out, just barely, but pulled it out. We should get another, human effigy from her, I think. Yeah. We're not gonna need those for much longer, but good to have, I suppose. Oh, that is just nasty right there. Now, there's much more to see in the Dragon Area, but navigating around this place... MC says the game is too easy, people clearly never went that far. Oh, absolutely not. You know what I think it was, honestly? I'm sure a lot of people, again, people who were better at the... I've got some, sorry, damn fly buzzing all around. My mom was over, like, bringing supplies and the like yesterday and must have let them in because we kept the door open for a while, moving stuff out of the car. So I may be a bit distracted trying to swat at this thing. But I think a lot of people who, again, were better equipped to handle Souls games after having played the first one, got to, like, the Dragon Rider, who was a very easy boss, and were like, oh, is this all? And, like, I have a friend like that, a friend who loved the first and third games, but never got past, or, like, had much interest in going past Hate's Tower of Flame in the second. I think that might be a factor there. Oh no. Well, times like this are the perfect opportunity to try out our new aged feather, if we can't find more gear around it, because, thankfully, we've got that zip line that'll take us straight to the entrance of the Dragon Shrine. Yeah, and it looks like that's where we're at. Oh, but before we do that, because of the way the Dragon Shrine's laid out, we are definitely going in, spending an exorbitant amount of souls to playing, or to repair all of our gear. MC says I was playing Deep Rock Galactic yesterday. Felt good coming back to it. What is that? I'm not familiar. Hold on, while it's loading, let me have a look-see. Ooh. A co-op FPS. That looks like it'd be a great deal of fun to play with friends. A game about being a dwarf and mining with a team. Yeah, yeah. So repairing the armor, even though it's totally broken, isn't that costly, actually. But the rings... Oh, the rings are gonna hurt us. Level up time. Oh, and killing bugs. I said it's like procedurally generated. Does the... Yeah, the maps are completely random too. Does the procedural generation feel like it enhances the experience there, or would you have preferred more deliberately designed zones? I kind of liked the concept of procedural generation when it was still like a huge thing, but aside from roguelikes, I've really soured on the idea, especially after things like the No Man's Sky and Mass Effect Andromeda development fiascos. 7 level ups, okay, that is good. We'll drop 1 more in Vigor. How about 2 in Intelligence? Tempted to put the rest in Vitality, but no, let's do Endurance. We need to get that stamina up. MC says, honestly, it was weaker earlier in development, but now it's solid as hell. Was it available, like, as an early access kind of thing? Doesn't feel like all computery. Oh, that's good. That's good. As you can see, we can now access or see every bonfire in the game. And, oh, I'm just so stuck in my ways. We're going to try to get some Rat King buddies one more time. Oh, the Sun Sword. Solaire Sword from the first game. I think you get it from the... MC says also tons of content and probably the best hub in games. I don't know. The hub world in... or the hubs available in Warframe, at least for that type of game anyway, are pretty good, I think. Granted, it's been ages since I played Warframe, so it's probably been remade into a totally different type of game about 17 times now. That's a phenomenal project, by the by. Yes! Yes! Time to have fun! Welcome one and all to our show tonight. Was really impressed by the contestant who was able to take me last time around, but since I've got my security with me, I don't feel like that'd be a problem. Hey, rocking the Watch Dragon Parma though, good for you. Oh, but you've been poisoned. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Thanks for playing. Now that, friends, is what the Rat King Covenant was like in the glory days. MC says, nah, Deep Rock Galactic has a better one. Can't go on a job without a beer. Both an amusing concept and largely true to life, if my students have shown me anything. I don't drink, but I've read a great number of papers that I assume were written while drunk, so... Now, I was doing just a tiny little bit of research, and I think the Rat King rewards you almost exclusively with rings. A lot of the Covenants have better rewards, including the special one we're going to access toward the end of today's stream. There is a very, very special Covenant, Dark Diver Grandel's Covenant, that we haven't seen at all yet. MC says, I mean, there's beer in the hub and you can get drunk during a mission, making your aim amazingly fun. Oh, all wobbly, I bet. Jeez. That does sound fun and immersive. Like, running a match with, like, an entire squad of, like, incredibly drunk players must be a very fun and unique experience. Now we can head back to the Eyrie, and again... As we saw with that zipline, the Dragon Eyrie is almost entirely optional. You can just go around and get those upgrade materials and things. But all we really need to do is take the zipline to the Dragon Shrine, which has been completely reworked. I'd say more extensively than any other zone in the game. And I'll show you why I say that is in just a moment. But all you need to know right now is originally the Dragon Shrine was a pretty standard dungeon, right? It had 2 or 3 types of enemies. They would attack you individually or in small units. None of that is true here. Remember, as the Emerald Herald said, the Ancient Dragon welcomes us. It wants us to succeed, to do well. Oh no. Oh, we're going all wibbly wobbly. Oh, but man, this camera angle, this view you get is so cool! So gorgeous! Oh, I friggin' love this part of the game. Right, welcome to the Dragon Shrine. Now, before we carry on and I demonstrate to you the amazing way this area was redesigned, let's have a little sit down and chat with our eldritch friend. who is a little bit smaller here. MC says, in more seriousness, DRG has a large community and mostly friendly and co-op people. Can't really survive alone. That's great. I love multiplayer-based games that have really positive and, like, supportive communities. Yeah, we are not about lighting that flame. Not in this game, at least, I think. Yep. Somehow, this is what became of the last leadership figure present in the kingdom. Lord Aldia, in his attempts to circumvent the undead curse and save the people of his kingdom, turned into this thing. But it's really interesting, like, everything he told us amounts to, once you get past the nihilistic rigmarole, sure, there's pure light, pure darkness, and that seems to be the choice with which you're presented, and which Gwyn and many others have believed themselves to be torn. But what if there's a third way? What if these aren't the only forces at work in the world? What if you could make a different choice? Would you? And I don't know if any of this is actually reflected in the in-game choice. Again, it's been a long time. But it's interesting, and this idea of a third way is not explored in either the first or the third games. I wish it was, because it's very, very interesting and compelling as the framework or the basis of, like, a quote-unquote best ending, you know? MC says you also have 4 classes to pick from, each complementing others. A lot of multiplayer games use that kind of format. I think it's always like 4 classes. I guess because 4 players is the optimum party size for a lot of games like that. Right, so Dragon Shrine, one of my favorite areas, and kind of a tough one. Let me break it down for you. There's 2 major types of enemies here. There's the Drake Keepers, the gigantic old knight-looking guys in the black armor there, and the Dragon Apostles, or the Dragon Knights, the smaller ones standing, like at the top of the flight of stairs to your right. Now, originally, all of them were like, or no, I think the Drake Keepers were present in large numbers throughout the area, and the Dragon Apostles appeared largely as, by default, non-violent, kind of set dressing toward the end of the area just before the audience hall of the Great Dragon. Here, the entire area is designed to test you, to see if you are worthy of being granted an audience with the dragon. So, in a series of different arenas, we're going to have to fight Drake Keepers. If you defeat the Drake Keepers, that's fine, you can go on ahead, no problem. But if you try to run from them, if you try to run past them, or engage in a number of other, like, activities that are quote-unquote dishonorable, the Dragon Knights or the Dragon Apostles will join in. So you've got to take these guys down pretty directly and pretty quickly, otherwise you'll be judged unworthy. See, the Dragon Apostles bow to you, and the Drake Keepers just try to kill you. They deal insane amounts of damage, by the way. Drake Keeper gauntlets, excellent. How's it hanging? So before we do anything else here, we just want to charge on through the entire area so we don't attract the ire of the Dragon Apostles. We want to get rid of all the Drake Keepers as quickly as we can. And yeah, they are literally just old knights on crack with much better armor. Or much cooler armor, I should say. See, that they all deal damage like that. MC says, ever tried doing a gesture to one of them? I don't know if I can, but we'll see. They all perform the dual bow, I believe. Oh yeah, they don't react. Pity. We'll want to loot this place after the fact, because right now, we want to progress through this little tournament they have set up. And notice, all the fights, I believe, are one-on-one. They are good people here. Again, further kind of cementing the fact that the dragons were better, just generally better people than Lord Gwyn and his retinue. Like, in both games, like, anything associated with them is heavily permeated with the language of honor and mutual respect, and, yeah, Anne Orlando's theology definitely is not. MC says, sad. Yeah, I wish they would react. Some NPCs, I think, in the third game do, and in Bloodborne. Here, I think we're challenged by... Are we gonna be challenged by this guy? Like the head apostle here? And again, I'm sorry, I just need to keep pointing it out, but this whole area is so visually stunning. It's incredible, man. I would say, yeah, easily, far and away better than Anne Orlando. I know, controversial opinion, but... So this guy, I think his name might be Dragonfang Villard. He's going to serve as, like, our final test here. And he's got all of the great dragons' little goodies. Okay, so we can heal. That's good. How do you feel about the dark, sir? Oh, you're pretty fine with it, I guess. So he fights with the great dragon's own great swords, and yeah, they don't mess around. Oh, I'm dead. I'm dead. Yep. He's the closest thing to a boss this area really has, normally. And this specific build, like with the two ridiculous overpowered dragon swords, is not present in the base game. It's just more Drake Keepers, I think. This is a great area, and it's challenging without feeling punishing, I think. But I know how to get through his armor. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. He's using a dragon set, right? So we'll use the same lightning that Gwyn used to, like, pluck the scales off of the dragon's hides. I love the design of the Drake Keepers. Someone just try to cast a spell at us? MC says one area where you don't feel bad killing people. Well, yeah, because A, these are a series of duels, and B, I'm pretty sure most of them are immortal as well. There we go. Dragon Charm, nice. Ow. Ow. He's very fond of that little two-hit combo. Very fond, damn. Oh, he just clocked his own friend. Jesus. I think, and I could be wrong here, the Drake Keeper's damage output was also increased to account for the fact that there are not nearly as many of them. Could be wrong there, but... MC says, pretty sure looting the corpse is not honorable. Well, they don't need them anymore, so... I assume they're fine with that. We proved our strength and our mettle and didn't try to, like, weasel our way out of the fight. Now, I'm going to fight this next guy, though, due to how powerful he is, incredibly dishonorably. In addition to our lightning pine resin, I'm going to take this big old pile of poison throwing knives I have and try to afflict him with a status debuff. Whoops. What? Why was my character just throwing them into the open air? Silly character, the terrifying dragon man's the other way. Every time, wow. Huh, that's very weird. We'll get that poison build up there. Ooh! He is very good. Like, very, very good. No, I did not mean to press the flask button, but now I've got to press the flask button. He is a very suitable, like, late game challenge in place of a boss, I would say. Now, there is a boss here, but it's entirely optional, and I'm not going to fight it for, much like Priscilla in the first game, plot-relevant reasons. Oh no, you don't. We just may have him. Yeah, there we go. Not the cleanest victory in the world, but it seems to satisfy them. You ready for this? One of my favorite encounters in the series. Past all of the guards, here's the ancient dragon. Again, singular, the ancient dragon. And he's friendly. He's going to help us figure out exactly what happened to Drangleic and hopefully solve some of its issues. It communicates with us telepathically. It gives us the Ashen Mist Heart, and has nothing more to say to us. So we proved ourselves sufficiently worthy to seek aid from one of the most powerful creatures in the entire world. MC says, if the curse of life is the curse of want, then the blessing of life is the blessing of need. I think he's talking specifically about a villainous character we're going to meet later, who, in like a lot of their item descriptions, is tied to like longing and want and kind of vice. I could be wrong though. So that dragon is implied quite heavily to be a creation of Lord Aldea. He somehow managed to understand enough of immortality and like the secrets behind life and the sustenance thereof to bring back the ancient dragons, albeit in a new form. And they've proven just as honorable and worthy of worship and alliance as they were originally, if not more so. And yes, you can fight the ancient dragon if you want. It's like the hardest boss in the entire game. It's not a terribly fun fight. I've never done it myself because, again, I have this serious problem, especially in games like this where you don't have a lot of allies, with killing, going out of my way to kill like helpful or otherwise benevolent characters. It's why I wouldn't kill Priscilla in the first game, and I'm not going to kill the dragon here. It doesn't really get you much of anything either. But it is there, if you would like. Now, will they attack me if I go past now? No, they won't, because I defeated the Drake Keeper. Good, good, good. Now we can loot the shrine, and get something very, very special along the way. More Titanite. Right on. Oh! It is a special Drake Keeper. I don't quite remember this one, but check out that, like, hammer and great shield, man. Ow. That's how much damage his shield bash did to me. Jeez. Oh! Shit. Well, I guess it's worth it because he is guarding, a special area. MC says, in the game where you have the possibility of doing something ethical or unethical, you pick the former. I would too. Yeah, I absolutely love moral choice systems, especially kind of complex ones, but I can never bring myself to make, you know, immoral decisions or decisions that would harm others, which is a testament, in my mind, to really solid world building on the part of developers that, like, you know, hey, if I care so much about these worlds, these characters, that I don't want to cause them harm, that is good design right there. And like here, it's like, well, the dragons have been through enough at the hands of greedy mortals, and this one's helping us for next to no reason other than we're kind of valorous and capable in combat. It would feel wrong to attack it after it helped us rather selflessly. Hey, that's one of Smoth's moves from the first game, recall? The, like, ridiculous little cleave with the hammer. Probably the most dangerous move in that entire boss fight. Ow, God almighty. So I've got an idea. Again, because they're like dragon affiliated, I get the feeling that lightning is going to be our best bet against them. Yep, that did the trick. Well, we know how to get past the Great Shield guy now then, hopefully. Their tracking is actually really good, too. Ooh! Oh, barely stuck it out with, like, no help, but hey, we managed. And I think this is where we get, or at least access to, the really cool thing. Yep. I think so. I doubt there'd be any mimics here because... Oh no! This is Dragonfang Villard. He's a different guy. Oh, the third dragon ring! Yes, the third dragon ring is badass. It effectively replaces the Ring of Favor and Protection from the first game, I want to say, and it's one of the best treasures we could get in this game, one of the very best treasures. But old Villard here is guarding objectively the best treasure in this area. And, oh, you're nowhere near as bad as the Gatekeeper. You've only got one of those ridiculous swords. Oh, he can heal too. Good. Oh, you do not have a ton of stamina, do you, buddy? MC says, oh, I saw someone playing Hand of Fate 2 Devil's Challenge. Didn't get the gold and moved on after silver. Oh, that's a shame. I absolutely love the incredibly inventive logic that goes into earning the gold token for that particular challenge. Feel like you don't get quite enough out of it. Well, I'm a completionist in the sense that if you dangle something like a special trophy or a special, like, in-game award just out of reach, as we saw, like, in Spyro, I will torture, or Crash 2, for instance, I will torture myself to get that little bit extra. Petrified something, and here, at this altar, we have a special item. The Petrified Egg. Oh, now this is very special, folks. First off, let's read the Ashen Mist Heart description. Delve into the memories of the withered. Manifestation of ashen mist received from the ancient dragon. The magic of the dragon allows one to delve into the memories of the withered. We'll see what this means shortly, but you can probably already imagine some of its applications. Now the egg. A large petrified egg surely bears no life. Eggs are vessels that harbor life itself and symbolize the deepest secrets of existence. But what does a petrified egg harbor? It actually harbors access to a special covenant. One with a covenant master we honestly never could have guessed on our own, probably. MC says going back to open that castle lock from yesterday, I bet. Not the lock in Drangleic Castle, no. These allow us to get very special items that we can use to work towards getting some of the game's most complete endings, as well as a bunch of unique gear and the like. There are really 3 different entities you can use it on. Skeptic Spice and a Twilight Herb. Oh, you can summon a Shade-In, Bashful Ray, alright. Looks like we have to drop out of the tower that was holding the egg. So the Covenant Master we need to take the egg to is actually Magirold of Lanafear, if you recall. The merchant in the old Iron Keep that said he was on the lookout for interesting and unique curiosities, he was actually talking about something like the Dragon Egg. And if we take the egg back to him, he'll offer us, well, membership in, as I said, a special covenant. The Crystal Magic Weapon spell, hell yes. And another Fragrant Branch. Both excellent rewards. We're not done quite yet, though. We want to get over there, eventually. And there's 2 more little paths we haven't checked out yet. MC says for dragons made out of stone, a petrified egg would be considered alive. Yeah, stone dragons, yes. But these dragons, Aldia's dragons, are not made from stone. They're different. Immortal, I believe, naturally, but like organic. Is this a trapped chest? This looks like a trapped chest with all the bloodstains around. No, just a bunch of greedy people ran in here and got cut down by the Shrine Guardians, I guess. Not like I'm one to talk. I have suffered so many greed-related deaths in this series. Finally, let's crack open the secret path revealed by the lockstone. Well, no, we still have to get up to the tower. Never you mind. We're getting there. What's in here, though? The Judgment set. Is that, the partner set from the first game? Yes, it is. Weird that it's found here, given that the partner himself is in Seldora. But, I mean, I'll take it. It's got pretty solid, like, magic resistance, I think. Magic and dark resistances. Here we go. Mimic? Trap? No? Twinkling Titanite? Oh, and even the archer isn't interested in fighting us. Faint stone. Alright, I think that might be everything. Our sojourn to the most beautiful area in the entire series is now complete. Seriously, like, again, I know I'm like a hardcore Dark Souls 2 fanboy, but I guess you could maybe make a case for Anor Londo or Crystal Cave, but can you really say that the first game had anything quite as visually appealing, quite as beautiful as the Dragon Eyrie and Shrine? I don't think so, man. Now, to actually make the most of that petrified egg, we do have to take it back to Magirold. But also, we then have to make the most of our Ashen Mist Heart, which again can be used in 3 different areas. MC says this area is breathtaking and terrifying. Oh, definitely so. In the first game, with like Drake Keepers and Disciples like jumping on you left, right, and center, it was very hectic and like stressful. But I kind of appreciate the idea of it turning into this like honorable fight club. Speaking of, MC says Anor Londo was just breathtaking. It was, but not quite as visually appealing, I have to say. Just not for me, anyway. Oh yeah, we also didn't gather up these treasures after turning off most of the Gouts of Flame here in Weeaboo Castle. Oh, it feels cathartic to make short work of them, though. Oh. That's right, they all have bows now. They also have exceptional poise. Even with our stone ring, we don't deal that much damage. Or we don't deal enough damage to stagger them normally. What is this? Ah, yes. Good. Very good. The Iron Key. Key to the iron door of the Iron Keep. The old Iron King's castle sunk into a lake of fire, weighed down by the castle's iron and the burden of the king's conceit. Over the ages, the iron was stripped from the castle by opportunistic passers-by. The iron door, too, must be somewhere. Far away. I'm pretty sure this might be how we open the, second DLC? Or access the second DLC, but I'm not entirely sure.
What is that? A petrified egg? From the shrine? Fantastic. Wait, give it to me. I'm fascinated by it. I'm begging you.
Gladly.
Very kind of you. This thing.
you can now join the Dragon Remnants Covenant. The Covenant of the Ancient Dragons from the very first game. And for whatever reason, he serves as the Covenant Master here. Oh. Oh no. I just looked up what the Iron Key did, and it turns out, because I was curious, this is not how we access the DLC. This is how we finally throw down with those salamanders in the Forest of the Giants, somehow. So, yeah, we're off to do that in just a minute, but first we'll join his covenant just to see what we can get from signing up, like as a signing bonus. The Dragon Seal and the Dragon Eye.
Very well.
So, if you recall, the Dragon Covenant is based around totally honorable PvP combat, leaving a Dragon Eye summon sign that allows other players to call you into their worlds to duel honorably for a Dragon Scale to go to the victor. We have the Ancient Dragon Seal, slightly increases Estus Flask HP recovery. Oh, nice. Possessing a Dragon Scale is proof of its owner's prowess. Strength must always be displayed boldly and meted out justly. Members of the Covenant who bear Dragon Scales can fight with one another. The survivor of the duel claims the Dragon Scale of the opponent. You don't actually lose one if you do lose, I don't think. Now, that third Dragon Ring, we're going to want to look at real quick. I think it's this one. Yes. Increases HP, stamina, and maximum equip load, all by a pretty healthy margin, too. A Dragon Signet Ring grants its bearer the protection of dragons. Increases HP, stamina, and equip load, but is easily broken. Ralmund, Knight of Drangleic, served the king by guarding the fort till his own demise, and was said to have cherished this ring throughout his life of service. We're going to use that, but only after we manage to rejoin the Rat King's Covenant real quick and see if we can't level it up. We are very close to being able to level up the Rat King Covenant and get, I think, some kind of ring. And remember, there's one more Covenant left in the game, Dark Diver Grandals. And, I'm gonna be honest with you. There's a special prize for completing Grandal's Covenant. It's not tied to PvP whatsoever. MC says loving the rats. Oh, I am. I just think it's a really neat idea, wouldn't you say? Like, the whole concept of you presiding as the boss over your own dungeon.
Speak. My servant.
MC says, I know it's a fun idea. Oh, it really is. Demon Souls and Dark Souls 3 play around with similar ideas, but none of them realize it as, like, completely as does Dark Souls 2, I don't think. We have any takers? First off, do we have any lockstones? Oh, yes, we do. MC says I wrote it down in some design documents, but didn't know it was in this series. Oh, nice, man. Oh, you see what we did? We, erected this barrier to keep people from running through to the boss without going through our little Germ gauntlet first. Oh, this is so much fun. Tell you what, life's always better with axes. That should activate this statue when we have contestants as well. We'll go ahead and, since it looks like we don't have any takers right now, unfortunately, we'll go ahead and equip the third Dragon Ring, just because, oh geez, look at that, healthy amount of stamina and health that we got from that. Pretty good bargain. Now, I think is the best time to show you guys how we're intended to... We'll go ahead and use our Aged Feather to get back to the bonfire more easily. how we're intended to use the Ashen Mist Heart. Like I said, you can use it at 3 distinct locations, and the first one, probably the easiest one to access, is actually in the Writhing Ruin in Seldora. You get the least for doing this one, but it's still a good idea, I would say. Where Seldora is that one. While we're here, we may as well, maybe on the way back out, turn in some boss souls to the Crow Merchant. Oh, it's my favorites again. Another Mailbreaker. They do a lot to top up your supply of middling early game weapons. And Mastodon greatswords for whatever reason. Oh, damn! I was not expecting it to do that much damage. I was actually expecting it to run into the bottomless sinkhole like it did every other time we got near. Seldora is one of those areas that's a lot of fun to maneuver through once. Exactly once. But the worst part of the entire area for return trips is easily the hollow mage assholes with the homing soul arrows that they never stop firing. Oh, geez. They've got a rapid-fire mode. This is great training for the Shrine of Amana. MC says, I remember when I read about the Hand of Fate 1 spider creeping people out. Never realized that one could be scary. Well, I guess some people have pretty serious, arachnophobia. Hey, it sure would be great to actually get to heal. That'd be nice. Jesus. We're definitely stopping by Ornifexes once we're through here, because no way in hell... Actually, we're doing it right now, because no way in hell am I coming back here unless I have to. Oh, wait. No, there's no more souls we have to talk about that we haven't looked at before. So she can use the Looking Glass Knight soul to create a couple unique items. The Guardian Dragon soul can be turned into the Drake Wing Ultra Greatsword. A sword decorated with drake wings, use the strong attack to unleash its latent power. The blade of this sword is split into 2, and is best swung in smashing motions rather than slices. Drakes are likely descendants of the ancient dragons, and though their strength pales in comparison to what is described in legend, to mere humans they're still mighty beasts. We can get Velstadt's hammer, which is incredible. The great hammer of the Royal Aegis. The power of this hammer's blessing is not faded completely, despite its being exposed to the dark of the Undead Crypt. Sir Velstadt, known as the Royal Aegis, gave himself to the king, in both life and death. We'll pick up the old Iron King's hammer while we're here. The Spitfire Spear from the Guardian Dragon, which I think is... Huh, the Greatsword actually has a better strength modifier. I've never noticed that. A spear said to have been forged in Aldia. Contains the power of a great flame, which is unleashed in a strong attack. The mysterious Lord Aldia secluded himself inside a manor to conduct various experiments. Those invited to the manor disappeared, replaced over time with malformed beasts that roamed its halls. We can get the mirror, unfortunately, that does not allow you to summon in NPCs to help out. A great shield created from the soul of the Looking Glass Knight can deflect spells. The Looking Glass at the castle is said to have been a passage to another world. I wish they actually played around with that concept a little bit more in the King's Passage and in that area, like if you were transported through a series of alternate dimensions or like mirror realms or things like that. Would have been a really interesting level. The Thorned Greatsword could also be forged from its soul. Fearing something wicked, the king fled the castle and never returned, but his warrior, forever true to his command, stands ready to expunge those who would challenge him. So, we're going to go for the Drakewing Greatsword, and actually the Mirror Knights, or no, we'll go for its sword as well, because it's easier to wield. We're going to hold off on Velstadt's soul for just a minute. But we cashed everything else in. I am going to do like a fun boss soul weapon showcase a bit later on toward the end of this series, but only once we've got most of the ones we can acquire, or I choose to acquire during our first cycle through the game. Oh, Novlan again. He might actually be kind of dangerous here. Because of these guys. And because they're going to help him actually get casts off. Oh no, that's dead again. I've never actually seen that one in action before. Oh my god. Fortunately, as always, once we actually get up close, Novlan goes down really quickly. It was cool that he was able to show off. Incy says, "Hello, darkness, my old friend." It's a badass moveset. He's got... Well, he is a great opportunity for us to see some of the more powerful hexes in action. As I'm sure you could see, kind of look like more difficult to land than a lot of sorceries and the like, but good god do they do damage when they actually go off without a hitch. You get several powerful hexes, I believe, for leveling up Grandal's Covenant. So we've got to make our way back down to Freya's boss arena. With all the fun that entails. Let them come in here if they want to fight us. If they can. Oh, looks like they actually can once the boss is gone. Ugh. God, there's so many of them and they're so creepy. And this one peasant who just doesn't care at all. Kudos to him. MC says there are plenty of games where you can burn spider webs with torches. Oh yeah, yeah. Good thing this isn't one of them. Definitely. I wouldn't put it past Dark Souls to try something like that, but thankfully they have not yet. Now notice, near the corpse of this dragon that we inherited Seath's soul from, there's a giant crystal formation. Yeah, the telegraphing here is not subtle at all, but we can actually use the Ashen Mist Heart to interact with, like, the crystal formed from the dragon's spirit, or something or another, and go into the memories of this great petrified dragon. Now, there's not a whole lot to see or do here. It looks very cool. In fact, it looks like this may be the age of dragons before the age of man. But there's a couple things we want to get here, and yes, when we're active in someone or something's memory, we cannot stay for long. There's like a timer. This is very, very cool. There's something in particular we want here. I just hope I can find it without us having to go back in 2 or 3 times. Yeah, we can get the soul of the ancient dragon. Not the same ancient dragon that was present in, the Dragon Shrine, mind you. But this looks like one of the original everlasting dragons. May it rest in peace. Looks like they use the same model, but it's meant to be something very, very different. We can then examine it again to go back, because I don't think there's anything else there. Poor guy. And notice, it's a Lord Soul, or just as powerful. Soul of the ancient dragon that stands magnificently deep within the shrine. This powerful being stands and waits for whomever may visit him. Use the dragon soul created by those who peered into the essence of the soul. So this is a way to get the ancient dragon soul without having to cause it harm, I believe. Which is great! I really like that they put that in the game. That is a wonderful design choice. And we ought to take it to Ornifex to see what she can do with it. I'm fairly certain we are nowhere near strong enough to wield weapons forged from a dragon soul, but... more mail breakers and daggers. Right. How on earth did he fall? While not complaining. MC says there's a common theme of making the world better and causing a lot of pain for little results. Essentially trying to make the world in one's image rather than making it objectively better. Yeah, no, there is throughout the series, but I will say this. Not in Dark Souls 1, not in Dark Souls 3, but here, Vendrick and Aldia were actually working towards productive ends. Aldia, in particular, despite the legitimately horrifying experiments on, like, immortal creatures he was conducting in his mansion, came really, really close to being able to undo the undead curse, and it's implied grant, like, mankind a type of immortality without the cost of hollowing. He came very close and was deliberately disrupted, as we'll see later on. So the Dragon Soul can get us the curved Dragon Greatsword. In the age of ancients, the world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. Taken from the opening monologue in Dark Souls 1. Dexterity scaling, that's actually really good. So if we can wield it effectively at any point, this may be worth it. Thank you, Ancient Dragon, you're the best. So, if we can access the memories of the giant, or the dragons, we can also access the memories of the giants. You know, the like, largely dead, or completely dead, arboreal giants in the forest. We can go back in time to the war and acquire some special items. MC says, I was thinking games in general, heroes are the worst. Unless you're playing, like, a really, really intricate role-playing game in the style of Mass Effect, Dragon Age, like Alpha Protocol, Pillars of Eternity, I'm just throwing some things out there. Yeah, heroes are by default, or can be, way more destructive than they're intended to come across, I think. I'm gonna kill these guys just for old times. Now let's use that iron key to take on the salamanders before we do anything else. Now, fair warning, the salamanders are pretty damn powerful, even at this stage in our development. They can humiliate me pretty easily if I'm not on guard. Good thing I'm constantly terribly observant and aware of my surroundings. Right, so Iron Key opens the iron door, which, if we're to take that item description seriously, was just like... Sorry, where is it? Up here. It was just like repoed from the Iron Keep, stolen, none of the treasure, just the friggin' door, and hauled all the way across the country, or even through time, here to just, I guess, just seal off one little hallway in the keep. Great use of your military infrastructure there, Drangleic. Oh god, here they come. Oh, you're the worst. They're pretty tanky, too. Ow. That attack is the worst. Yeah. MC says, but even Mass Effect has a lot of morally questionable situations. This is my favorite store on the Citadel just for that sweet discount. Well, hey, that's not necessarily morally questionable. Each of them could have been my favorite at the specific point in time during which they offered me the promotional deal. Your opinions can change a lot over the course of 30 or 40 seconds. So let's try that again, playing competently this time. You do get some good stuff for cutting down the salamanders, I believe. What I appreciate about Mass Effect, Dragon Age, basically the BioWare games from, you know, the days when BioWare was still BioWare, and not like a third-rate Destiny knockoff manufacturer, is that perfectly happy endings, with the exception of Mass Effect 3, the ending to which I still friggin' hate for this very reason, were perfectly attainable in just about every single situation. Like, you could ideally resolve any conflict presented to you in the game, but oftentimes they required a lot of forethought and deliberate planning in the form of making proper choices that seem relatively minor, being kind to what appear to be one-off characters at the expense of great rewards or things like that. That was an Ironclad Knight, what the hell? And just doing things like that throughout the game. It was always possible to get, like, happy endings, you just had to really, really work for them. Okay, this is perfectly emblematic of why I hate fighting these things. They're just friggin' bulldozers. They don't like the darkness too much, though. And blocking is just totally pointless against them. There's one down, though. Ugh. There's another one guarding treasure, and... I hate these things so much. That, and it looks like the actual hitbox for their little dive attack is a bit off, in that, they can hit you with that sucker, like the full brunt of their charge, if you're standing to the side of them. Oh god, I hate you. Okay, it glitched out. It's running at the wall. Good. Good. You keep on doing that. This is gonna break it out of that cycle, of course. So, yeah, it looks like the salamanders might actually be just a little bit overpowered for when in the game they're meant to be fought. Like, you know, Iron Keep-ish. Like that. At least this is a small area, and once we're done here, we never have to come back. The Rebel's Great Shield and the Heavy Iron Key. Heavy Iron Key might be what we need to get into the DLC. Let me see. Yep, here it is. Piece of iron shaped like a key. Past the altar, deep within the Iron Keep, and through a door, is the tower that the old Iron King used to produce iron. The unearthly weight of this chunk of iron is a reminder of the Iron King's own immeasurable strength. MC says, yeah, still mad about Mass Effect 3 not even bothering to handle the plot holes, creating new ones, and the contradictions. I am the most angry about the fact that, well, they patched the ending, right? They rewrote it, they expanded it, added a lot of cool stuff, that's fine. But still, for whatever ungodly reason, they added in a way for, hey, yeah, if you want your character to live, and you want to, like, continue spending time with and inhabiting the same world as this crew and all these characters that have come to be like a family to that character over the course of this multi-entry saga, like this trilogy of very closely interconnected games, you still have to make a choice that ends up killing a ton of your friends, including, in my case, a species I worked very, very hard to advocate for across the trilogy, for no reason. Like, you want one of the good endings, you still have to sacrifice yourself. Why? 'Cause screw you. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Oops. Ooh. Ow, ow. Fortunately, the fireballs don't do quite as much damage as their physical attacks do. Well, my problem with the sacrifice comes down to, again... Oh, shit! That really fundamental part of the trilogy's design based around, like, challenge and conflict in the ways you can navigate it. Again, it had been made copiously clear to players up to that point that, you know, if you want an ideal resolution to more or less any major conflict, it's possible, but you really have to work for it. And at the very end of the trilogy, like as the grand payoff, to take that away for no real reason felt terribly disingenuous, and like, again, all of the work you had done across a full trilogy of games was ultimately meaningless. It felt like there should have been a best case scenario there, and it wasn't introduced for really just to next to no reason. Not even bothering with you. Flame quartz ring. Fire defense, alright. I can see the appeal. I can really see the appeal right now. MC says, remember Mass Effect 2's Leviathan's encounter? Do you mean Mass Effect 3? I'm pretty sure they were a DLC, like side campaign for Mass Effect 3. And honestly, the Mass Effect 3 DLC, I will say, across the board was really, really good. Like, in my mind and in the minds of plenty of fans, Citadel, the Citadel DLC, is the proper finale to the entire series. Or the entire trilogy. But yes, I do. The Leviathans should have been able to, well, at the very least, do enough to necessitate, again, or not necessitate, the entire galaxy being brought to the brink of total destruction after they join the campaign. Now, where to go? Oh, right. Giants. We got giants. We got the Ashen Heart, or the Ashen Mist Heart. We got giants. Leviathan says, still, Leviathans always felt like a piece of the story that would have brought peace with the Reapers, or at least eliminated them. I trend toward the latter, because it was made clear that the Reapers had gone completely rogue ages ago. But the Leviathans, kind of lazy as they are, were still more than powerful enough to, if not eliminate them, shift the, balance of power significantly in favor of the galaxy's sentience. Like, to the point where we wouldn't have been pushed to a place where the final encounter on the Citadel was necessary at all. Again, so much of what was telegraphed to you throughout the entire series sent the message that if you do this right, there are going to be costs to the... We're going to go ahead and head into the Memories of the Giants, by the way. Really cool little section. But if you do this properly, there will still be costs for the entire galaxy to pay, but you, your friends, your crew, like the characters central to this story, can all, or for the most part, make it out of this thing alright if you do everything properly. So, we have been sent into the memory of Vamar, and we're here for something very special. First things first, though, let's meet the leader of the fort's garrison, Captain Drummond.
What are you doing here?
And I don't take you for a mercenary. Whoever you are, this is no battle to involve yourself in. Whether you are guided by bravery or brashness. This is no place for you. I am Drummond, and the Lord has placed this fort in my hands. Whoever you are, I forgive your trespass.
If we exhaust his dialogue, he should give us the helmet that goes with the Drangleic set.
Just mention my name, and no man will challenge your exit.
MC says, anyway, enough beating on the dead horse.
If you don't,
I will never, ever tire of complaining about, like, the ending to the Mass Effect trilogy. Or Andromeda. Andromeda was a overall pretty decent game. Like, by console RPG standards. But was a god-awful game by Mass Effect or even BioWare standards. Totally ruined by constant developer interference from EA, and, the same kind of mandates that necessitated turning, for instance, Dragon Quest, or Dragon Age Inquisition into this ridiculous, like, series of vast open environments with nothing in them. Something kind of similar there. Oh, and then there was also BioWare's major faux pas with the, attempt at procedural generation for worlds in Andromeda, which was just a terrible, terrible idea. So, what Drummond's saying to us is very accurate. The Giants are not barbarians. They're not attacking us, or they're not attacking Drangleic out of, like, just, like, base cruelty. When Vendrick invaded the Giant homeland, he stole something very important from them at Queen Nashandra's behest, and they're here to,
that towering monster among them,
they're here to reclaim it.
that is most certainly their king.
The Giants had every right to invade.
To topple,
MC says the idea is not terrible, but EA rushed it.
even if
I'll actually contend that. I think the idea of procedural generation for a series like Mass Effect, which had done so well with... And BioWare's design philosophies generally align with this. A vast number of small but incredibly content-rich, dense areas would not have been benefited by, like, big, like, kind of random procedurally generated areas. Like, curated content is always best, I would argue, period, but especially for RPGs.
be gone. Be gone with you. Be gone.
So we got the Gesture Maestro trophy for learning all the gestures in the game, I guess. We may have to come back here after we complete this area to actually get Drummond's helmet. Oh dear. Hello. So now we get to see how the normal giants fight. They are just insanely powerful melee combatants. And mages. We can backstab them, though, somehow. So the giants are masters of pyromancy, believe it or not. And they're going to put that mastery to use the longer we tarry here. Oh no, we're already running out of time. The giants are absolutely monstrous to fight through and great late-game enemies. And fortunately, in these memories, there's not a ton of them. I do find it weird, though, that, like, in the memory of the giants, we're viewing all this from the perspective of, like, some random human here. Oh, there we go. It's because we spent so much time talking to Drummond. We can get through that whole area much quicker now. None of these memory dungeons are terribly long. There's 3 of them here in the forest. And we need to clear all of them if, again, we want the easiest path to a more complete ending. Which we do, of course. MC says the true problem lies in the open world buzzword. Yeah, the fact that AAA games in general are obsessed with bragging about the size of their worlds. I'm of the mind, as are a lot of pundits, that that the size of your world, the like just number of square feet or miles or whatever, doesn't mean a damn thing. The most what I really want to know is, what do I get to do in this world? That's why, like, the Yakuza series Kamurocho is a great example that I know Jim Sterling brings up quite often. It's not a very large setting at all, but it's always full of just a million different things to do and reasons to do those things. MC says procedural generation can be done well in the right condition, but then it gets overexploited, and older games had bigger worlds. They did, but also, some of them, at least I'm thinking like Elder Scrolls Daggerfall, maybe less, again, deliberately designed, or I would say curated content to use in those worlds, or to complete. This giant has an arm coated in poison, and I don't know, this might be one of their mages. I could be wrong about that, though. Have I tried Metro Exodus? No, I've never played any of the Metro games. So here we can see the Royal Infantry in their normal armor, just having it out with some giants. And, we're actually... Oh, jeez. We're actually going to run past here, because I think this guy is one of them we actually want to throw down with. Or not, now that, you know, the giants have just beaten the piss out of Vendrick's men. It looks like they might attack us anyway, though, so... Oh, no. Right, okay, so, full disclosure, I'm not terribly good at the memory dungeons. Because you're on a timer, you're under a great deal of stress the entire time, and, the giants are not the most durable enemies in the world, but they hit really hard. Now, in at least one of them, one of these dungeons, we can call in Benhard of Jugo, and we actually want to advance his quest line. And so he says you need to check the series out. They have a pretty good way of turning linear experience into some sort of semi-open world. May do. Once I'm through my backlog, which is massive at the moment. I still need to play Ghost of Tsushima. I got it, like, the day it came out. I've just not played it because I've been working my way through other stuff. Might do that for the channel. It's been a while since I've played, like, an open-world game that's actually, like, really good. Alright, let's try this again. MC says, I heard of that game. I always think the name is being Ghost of Sushi. It looks really interesting, and given that it features, like, feudal Japan, or, like, medieval Japan, one of my favorite settings, and one of my favorite civilizations, like, both to study and culturally of all time, the Mongolian Empire, or the Mongolian Khanate, I'm really interested to see how they realized that world. Oh, geez, looks like he took a little tumble on the edge of the wall there. Didn't know that could happen, but absolutely hilarious. And yeah, as you can see, the giants aren't durable at all for, like, creatures that appear to be made of stone. They're really not. kill me in a single strike? Oh geez, I'm sorry guys, this is gonna be a lot harder than I thought it was. Yeah, and our goal, I think... Well, our goal is to collect a giant soul at the end of each dungeon. I don't know if we have to kill specific giants, like the big guy with the two stone hammers, like the ones we killed in Black Gulch. We may have to. And I'm torn between just ignoring the giants altogether and running for the end and thinning their numbers. But the problem there is it looks like they will plow through Drangleic's and the old Iron King soldiers to attack me anyway. So I'm not really sure what to do. I think we'll try it the other way, like running through now. Because again, individual giants can't take a lot of punishment. What is a Forlorn doing here? Oh, well this is just a whole thing now, isn't it? Oh, it's one of them with the great swords. Okay, not so bad. Could be worse, he could be the guy with the scythe. Oh, this is just not our day. Oh, God almighty! We really need that stone ring right now, but do not have it equipped. Their stamina is ungodly. Fortunately, if we kill this one, we get access to more of their gear, I think. Oh, stun locked him. Whew. Let's try that again. MC says, did some private roleplay with my DM last Thursday, all about talking to almost every NPC in our small survivors group. This is a... Thank you very much, thank you. This is a thing you guys have to do regularly now, I guess, now that you've got a larger group together. In-game, of course. Not something you could choose to do. Alright, I gotcha. Oh. Right. Let's just cheese this if we can. Wait, ladder! Yes, ladder. Very good. Very good. Ah, that may have been what got us. Giant pyromancer. It'll do it every time. And he says it was fun to interact and see how everyone is doing. Oh, no doubt. And now that I'm up here, and... What are you guys doing? I'm on your side! Dark Souls, everything hates you. MC says you hit one of their friends. I don't think I did. I think they are actually... They're coded to prefer the giants as targets, but, they will just single you out as well afterwards. Like, they're not coded to view you as a friendly. Alright. Giant general time. How the hell did that hit me? Like, you know, I get it. Area of effect is a thing. Like, a radius is a thing. But it somehow knocked me flat and dealt a ridiculous amount of damage when it was about 5 feet in front of me. Oh, regardless. We've got to hustle, but we're almost there. Giant Warriors Club? I do not know if that was in the base game. They might have added, like, giant weapons and the like in, which would be really cool. Oh, poor guy. I feel for the giants, I really do. We gotta hustle. This is how we would get to that pyromancer if we didn't have ranged weaponry. Uh-oh. We may run out of time here, which would be bad. It'd be very bad. Rouge water from one of the Royal Infantry. I'll take it. Ah, you must have our soul. Okay, their hitboxes are a little off, or is that just me? No, 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 no. Give me that soul. So we beat the clock. Can we beat this guy for fun? Maybe. Yep. Soul of a great hero and some torches. Yeah, I think we're good. MC says their hitbox is broken. Okay, good. Not just me. Not just me. As he says, so I talked to our lion man NPC. He claimed he had lost his memory, but it was about not wanting to remember. He was working in the circus and they had a tough time, as like a slave of some kind, I'd imagine, right? There were taxes when coming into town, and more taxes if it didn't satisfy a noble, or, judging by that, maybe not? Just like part of their roster? Part of the crew, taking care of the animals. If, like, he had some kind of animal empathy trait, like a lot of characters or human-animal hybrids in Pathfinder do, that'd actually be a great fit. Or as, like, an attraction or entertainer, I gotcha. So next, I think we want to access the giant. If you recall, there's a withered giant, I think, on the other side of the Pursuer's boss door, or boss arena. And I think that one has a soul as well. Remember, we got one giant soul already by defeating the 2 giant generals who were sealed up underneath the Black Gulch. And we need these souls because, believe it or not, getting one of them will make a special boss fight that we need, I believe, to get the best or most complete endings possible, and every soul we get beyond that point will make the fights, or the fight much easier. We want at least, I think we can get at least 4. Well, I know we can get at least 4. Didn't drop anything, did he? Nah. Another great view. Yep, there is one over here, and look who it is! This might be the one with the boss fight. One of the dragon or giant memories has a boss fight.
What are you doing here? I thought we'd meet in a place like this. Fate just won't let us stay apart, will she? See, the old sword's caught your attention. Well, you've a good eye then. That's been in my family for generations. They say it is crafted with moonlight, and we all know what that means. It wards off evil, and I would be trader for all the riches in the world. They said that no man has ever teased out the sword's true power. But in the right hands.
Let me make sure I haven't... Okay. Hold on.
I see you've taken a liking to this. This is one sword, pal. I will not be giving up. If you still insist on having it, then you will have to buy it from my cold horns.
And actually, that's the only way we can get this particular greatsword, the Blue Moon greatsword. And unfortunately, Benart is wrong. His family heirloom is a, like, replica of Seath's Moonlight greatsword. And is kind of mediocre. Looks awesome, though. We need to summon him for 2 more boss fights to get his armor and complete his quest line, and I think this is one of them. You guys ready for some great friggin' lore? Here it comes. MC says, but the kicker, the circus had very little money, and if someone was sick or too old, any other reason they could not provide, they'd be left on the road with bread and a bottle of wine, and wouldn't wake up the next morning. So either starved to death or were killed. That's awful. But survival-based campaign, lots of stories like that sure to crop up. Yep, this is it. And look who was here in the past. Acting as a mercenary for Drangleic.
Oh, look at you, old friend. See your travels where?
And he recognizes us somehow.
Just remember, I'm always ready to help.
And this is, in fact, one of the bosses he can help for. This entire memory, I believe, is little more than a boss fight. There's like this courtyard full of treasure, but then at the top of the ramparts, I think, is the boss. Soul vessel and a ton of souls. Down goes the general. Proud knight. Wooey. Stop trying to kill me, guys. I'm nominally on your side this time around. Oh, this is where we get our soul, right? Yep. So if you just want the giant soul, it's that... well, or is this the boss fight? Maybe it's not. Maybe the other one is the boss fight. At any rate, this is a much easier area to navigate than the first memory, isn't it? Oh! No! No! Oh, that sucks! MC says it's more about a corrupt empire with nobility in power and people trying to do what they can. I see. Again, I'm not playing super well today. I hate that. Hate it, hate it, hate it. At least now we can, at least in theory, get around the giants without having to fight them. Jeez. Now also, my poor performance lately can also be attributed in part to the fact that we went for such a generalist character build that we're nearing the part of the game where having some kind of really hard specialization is gonna make things easier for you. Whether that's sorcery, whether that's hexes, whether that's a big tanky strength build, whether it's a dex build based around dealing absurd amounts of damage. And we are competent in all of those areas and just excel in none of them. MC says, let me bring some good memories to the table. I feel like Dark Souls 2 is missing one thing. Skateboards. Oh god, no. No, no, no. That was worse. That was much worse than this. This is just a legitimately challenging game. Challenging me. Really, really persistently. The skateboarding thing, I will always contend, was a case of mechanics that didn't need to be in a game, or at the very least didn't need to be there to the extent that they were. Apparently a lot of folks criticize Spyro 3 for, like, just being, or in the later worlds, transforming into this cavalcade of endless mini-games, and like in the last two hub worlds, I can definitely see that criticism being valid. It does feel kind of unfocused, and like, even when you get to play as those cool supporting characters with their own playstyles, half the time later in the game you don't get to use those playstyles with them. You just get to, play weird little mini-games with them, which feels like a total waste in my mind. MC says the issue is they kind of ran out of ideas. Ran out of ideas or got bored with the base, like, gameplay mechanics, yes, definitely. Holy hell, these guys are fast when they're, you know, not dead. Now, they're not very durable still, thankfully. There we go. Alright. What were you guarding over here? Dusk herbs. Eh. And I think maybe we can get over there by, taking the northern path, or the upstairs path in the castle proper. We've already got our giant soul, so I mean, we're good here. But I'm not about to pass up some obvious treasure. Hey look, it's the conscripts. They still sound like monsters for whatever reason, but they're perfectly fine until they meet me. Oh, hey, 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 a lockstone. Is this going to allow us to access the chamber that giant was holed up in? Oh, we don't have a lockstone, damn it. Well, we'll have to remember this place when we get one from the Rat Covenant next. I can take Vendrick soldiers, just not the club-wielding giants. Holy Lord! The hell? Oi, 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 oi. Vendrick has just the worst soldiers. I'm even wearing the Drangleic captain's uniform with a ridiculous jester mask that may creep some people out, but still, point stands. Oh, yeah, hey, we can get some stuff here. Soul, alright. Ooh. Oh dear. Oh dear. Tell you what, why don't we use that aged feather? It's as good a time as any. And he says another NPC I talked to is one of Rex's brothers, Jack the Wolfman. Just being brothers for a bit. I see. I was reading through one of the Pathfinder bestiaries and found some fascinating lore on that particular system's version of ratmen, and oh god, they just seem so endearing. I'm typically a big fan of ratmen in fantasy settings, but especially when they're not portrayed as universally evil, i.e. Skaven, although Skaven are great. If only for their ridiculously advanced tech for the setting. Now, right, we've got one more giant to access, and they're down here. Remember past the King's Ring door? MC says, oh yeah, Pathfinder rat folk are fun. They really are. I think I've talked about this on stream before, but based on my research into it, I think I really prefer the Pathfinder setting to like any of the mainstream D&D ones, head and shoulders. I think it's a much better, more fleshed out system in terms of its lore, its characters, its species, gods, things like that. I know in some circles that would be like heresy, but here we go. So we'll rest up in the place unbeknownst for just a second to give us a checkpoint. Right, sorry, this is the one where we get the really interesting lore. This one is more or less just a boss fight. And we can call in Drummond, but no. I wanted to call in Berhard. Or Benard. And I'm sure we can, just hold on a minute. We may have to call him in up here. Because we are not in the boss arena straight away. Or we're not in the boss fight straight away. Ow. We're going to be under fire from siege engines more or less constantly while we're here. Oh god. We may or may not get him, but as great as Benard is, I wouldn't be heartbroken if we don't complete his little quest line. Hey, does that guy look familiar? The Giant King? He certainly should. Meet the Giant Lord and his giant sword. His music should be familiar too. Now, he hits like a truck, as you'd imagine, and the siege engines are problematic. But fortunately, being that he's so large, he has kind of a hard time getting a bead on us. Uh-oh. Oh, that brings back memories. He doesn't have the most health in the world now, does he? Sorry, Benart, we're not going to be completing your quest line, but, the Giant Lord Soul and the Giant's Kinship. I have no recollection of what the Giant's Kinship actually does. Soul of a Giant, and we should be good here. Let's just collect a couple goodies left scattered on the walls. So the leader of the Giant's invasion force, the Giant King himself, was cut down. But not killed. MC says, in this custom universe, beastmen came from divine creatures that fell into a breach with the common realm. They're not adapted for their new environment, and their energy was fading. To survive, they started to inhabit the animals of the world, so some forms of celestial morphed into beastmen. Oh, kind of like the way, gnomes and, certain other fae work in, again, Pathfinder. Except they weren't celestials, they were inhabitants of, the first world. Hey, and it's Novlon again. I think he can invade you up to 5 times throughout the game. That would be number 4. So, real quick, sorry. If the Giant Lord looked familiar, it's because he is. He is originally intended to be one of the very last bosses you fight in, like, the vanilla game. And that's the last giant. The very first boss in the entire game is one of the last, and if you recall, the last giant soul stated that he was beaten and chained after being defeated by a nameless wandering hero. That's why he attacked us when we entered his dungeon for the first time. We didn't know it yet, we hadn't traveled back in time, and if you actually look into it, the time travel in Dark Souls 2 is a little wonky. Doesn't matter, because it's not a huge part of the plot, but he recognized us. And lashed out of anger. Yep, and MC says, first boss, you did that, you monster. I know, I felt so awful the first time I fought the Giant Lord. But we do need those souls. They actually do serve a purpose. And that purpose is actually helping the giants get a little bit of payback after the fact. We've got 4 giant souls, which is as many as we can get right now. I think the ancient dragon in the dragon shrine drops one, but again, it's not worth it, and it would not feel great. Notice that the Giant Lord has an actual Lord soul. His soul was that powerful. Soul of the Giant Lord who once conquered Drangleic. Vendrick crossed the seas, took prisoner the giants, and brought them back to his castle clapped in irons. However, after this modest triumph, his countenance could be seen to grow darker with each passing day. So remember, he genuinely believed that the giants held the secret to reversing or eliminating the undead curse, the hollowing. And he's not wrong, but he tried to, like at Nashandra's instruction or with her advice, prod it out of them or siphon their souls to use in, like, arcane arts instead of actually, you know, trying to learn from them or bargain with them. And that's ultimately what cost him. We also got the Giant Kinship, which grants access to the throne room beneath the castle. Each king has his rightful throne, and when he sits upon it, he sees what he chooses to see. Or perhaps it's the throne, which shows the king only what he wants. The flames roar, but will soon begin to fade, and only a worthy heir might burnish their light. What is it truly the claimant of the throne could desire? This will allow us to, actually access the endgame final boss arenas. But first, we are going to head back to Majula in order to level up. After a quick break, I'm going to get a new drink and probably put on a load of laundry, so I'll be back in about 4 minutes, guys. We should complete the rest of Dark Souls 2's base game content very shortly. As I said, just 1 minute and I'll be right back with you. Alright folks, we are back just in time to take on endgame challenges before the DLC, because again, the DLC are a lot of fun and ingeniously crafted, but god above are they hard. The first one, I would argue, actually takes the cake when it comes to really difficult level design, but really beautiful level design as well. We've got 2 more bosses to fight before, like, we're ready to take on the DLC. One of which I've never actually made it to before. So let's go ahead and offer up a bunch of souls. We can get, what? Yeah, 5 level ups, that's not bad. A little bit more in stamina, well, maybe. Or we could just boost intelligence through the roof. Give me a couple more strength, actually. Actually, I'm gonna go crazy. Strength and attunement. If I can use more of my spells, I'll actually have a better shot at this. Yeah, see, if I can equip Dark Weapon and Great Magic Weapon, we actually have way more versatility in the way our sorceries can benefit us. Notice I can't use most of our hexes, largely because they require they take up multiple attunement slots. They're that powerful. So, with all of these giant souls, first things first, I'm gonna see if we have any more takers back at the Doors of Pharaohs, because we do need a lockstone. But we can take on, well, I shouldn't really say an enemy, but there's a boss we can fight to put to rest one of the problems plaguing Drangleic, albeit in kind of an indirect manner. We can use these souls to challenge and to slay, really a mercy killing, slay Lord Vendrick. In his hollowed state, he can't really fight all that effectively, but if you notice, he was hauling around a giant greatsword, which, yeah, hurts a lot. But there's something else about Vendrick that makes him kind of special as a boss. I believe by default he is completely invulnerable to damage, or damn near, because he has something like a pretty solid defense stat naturally that is multiplied 32 times over by default when you first find him. For every one of these giant souls you acquire, every single one of the remnants of the giant's memories and intent that you uncover, that modifier is cut in half. First to 16 times, then to 8, then 4, then 2, then if you collect all 5 giant souls, eliminated entirely. It's really cool conceptually because it's like the rancor, the ire of the giants making Vendrick vulnerable when normally he would not be, and the giants helping you bring him down as like one last act of defiance. And again, we want to take down Vendrick for a multitude of reasons. I believe it does grant us access to, again, the most complete endings. And it will grant us access, I believe, to that door the Dragon Rider was guarding in the Shrine of Amana, as well as, of course, we get his soul, which can be used to create a couple pretty nifty weapons, or at least one really nifty weapon. This might actually take me a couple tries, though, because Vendrick is, he's durable. He's really obscenely durable. He'll still have twice the defense he normally would, and... Oh, right, it's one of the Imperious. I'd forgotten that you guys were here. Oh no, not the Imperious, the, oh, what do they call them? Like the Condemned or something like that? Cyan Knight down for the count. Ow. Oh, jeez. Oh, this is so not the bonfire I should have warped to. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Yeah, I won't turn the lights on, no worries. Could you maybe do something about that? Now we're gonna want to run to Vendrick's tomb. Run like hell. Because if you recall, there's a bunch of pyromancer ghosts and other nasties that are going to appear. Yep, here they come. MC says Tomb Raider, but less guns. Less guns, more horrifying soul spears. We use some repair powder to make sure our sword's durable, because our opponent sure is. Alright, Your Majesty, I'm sorry, but this has to be done. Yeah, as you can see, he deals a lot of damage. He only has 2 or 3 moves, though. Look at that damage we're doing. That is pathetic. God, he can, like, barely move. I would say this feels like a mercy killing far more than Gwen's fight in the original game did. This is a legitimately tragic moment. There's like nothing left of him. He's attacking us, ow, in the exact way like a common hollow from the beginning of either game would. He's able to deal a ton of damage thanks to his greatsword, which is awesome looking. But... ow! Damn it! Damn it! That's why Vendrick's fight is hard. To me, at least, or it can be hard. He's got an insane amount of, damage and, or, health, and you can't really block him at all. And all of his attacks take the form of just dragging the sword across the ground. Notice, as I have during these streams, I tend to do the worst in any fight where the opponent's moves take the form of those crazy horizontal sweeps in succession. MC says, contrary to Dark Souls 1, even the dignity is gone. Well, right. Gwen had hollowed in body, but not in mind. But in Vendrick's case, that is not true. He's completely gone. I figured using Great Magic Weapon on him would be better than Dark Weapon, if only because, well, down here in the Undead Crypt, he's probably become pretty resistant to the darkness. We'll give it a try, though. I want to see how much damage this does, comparatively. What on earth is that? I've never seen him do that before. He has some kind of projectile attack based on blood, it looks like. Kind of a shame we never get to duel Vendrick at full power, because he must have been quite the warrior in his day. And notice, it's not King Vendrick, it's not Lord Vendrick, he doesn't have a title, like even Gwen did in the first game. And like so many characters, boss characters in the series do, it's just Vendrick. That's all that's left. He tried his best, though, he really, really did. And again, I would contend, despite his horrific treatment of the giants, and his failure to actually beat the Hollowing Curse, unlike Gwen, we can think of him more concretely as a hero in this world. Someone who meant well and actually did a lot of good for people. Out of genuine benevolence, by all indication. And this is what he's reduced to. But still, because he gave up. He came so close and just couldn't get there. The overhead slams are really safe to punish, compared to his standard strikes. It looks like we want to stay on the side of, obviously, the side of his body that is not hefting the giant sword about. Rest well, Your Highness. You did what you could. We earned the Vendrick trophy, which, wow, I never killed him in this on this particular copy of the game? Huh. Now notice his armor is glowing, though. And we can use the Ashen Mist Heart to access Vendrick's memories. This was added specifically for the DLC, the Crowns of the Old or the Lost Kings DLC, and here we can actually get an audience with the king toward the very end of his life. And yeah, he proves just as kind and gentle as we would hope.
Seeker of fire, coveter of the throne. I am Vendrick, ruler of Drangleic. As flame rises, so does it fade. Such is the way of things. Do you intend to link the fire? Then you must first take the throne. Prove your worth. Find the ancient crowns. Seek adversity, and they will be yours. And your wishes. Granted. And your wishes.
Right, he serves as basically our quest giver for the DLC trilogy. And we can come talk to him sporadically. Notice Velstoch still guarding him. But we can come speak with Vendrick sporadically to get, like, information, or I think even a couple rewards as we progress through the DLC trilogy. Do we not have his soul? No, not yet. We may need to go somewhere for that, then. Which means, unfortunately, looks like it might be time to go back to the Shrine of Amana and see if we can't open that door again. Jesus. Yep, sorry, I just checked to make sure I'm not going in the wrong direction. We can access the door the Dragon Rider was guarding now, and that's where we can find our rewards for defeating Vendrick. Oh, no you don't. Oh god, right, these things. How could I have forgotten all about you? In like just a couple days' time, maybe it's because I wanted to. Alright. We just gotta cleave our way through this cadre of priestesses and we should be largely in the clear, I think. What do you have for us? Another staff that we definitely cannot use. Or, not quite yet. I think it was maybe Strayed Staff that had, like, the ridiculous intelligence requirement, and this one that merely had a high intelligence requirement. Titanite. I'll take it. Alright, you ready for some rewards? And thankfully the Dragon Rider does not respawn. Past this special door, we unlock this little, like, Hall of Reflection, somehow containing Vendrick's soul. I have no idea how that works, but there you go. He has a Lord Soul, of course. Soul of Vendrick, King of Drangleic. This great soul beckoned the dark, overwhelming the king. Perhaps this king, who once ruled the world of men, was a lacking vessel for the true throne, so maybe insufficient for the dark, I suppose? But here, kiddos, here is the real treasure, what I've been wanting to get for so long. Vendrick's armor set. It is really good and looks really cool. Let me show you. It's a bit lighter than what we have, not quite as solid defense. MC says maybe his first throne. That, or he stopped here on the way to the Shrine of Amana. Or, no, on his way to the Undead Crypt. I've no idea. Vendrick's armor isn't quite as robust as the Drangleic set, but it does have better like, elemental and effect resistance, in addition to being a good bit lighter. What makes a king? Some say it's birthright, while others call it destiny. Perhaps it's not important, as long as the king's name serves to unite his people. Oh, and the chest piece looks so cool. Check that out. Yeah. We also get his crown, which I don't think has any special effects. No, it doesn't. Unfortunately, the bonuses from the Jester set are so good we can't take these off quite yet. We can, however, get the hell out of here. I'm curious, so I'm gonna look it up real quick to make sure I can show this off to you. How we access the second tower in the Shrine of Amana in this version of the game. Ah, right. Okay, so to access the top of that tower for the first time, we actually have to be hollow. Never mind then, we'll just keep it in mind. We'll keep that in the back of our minds. Well, with all of that done, all that's really left to us is to head back to, I think it's Black Gulch, and unlock one of those ancient doors we needed the key dropped by the giants, I think, to access. This will lead us to, I believe, our third and final meeting with Dark Diver Grondel, which will give us access to his covenant, an incredibly dangerous covenant that I have never completed all of the content for. It's a strictly PvE covenant. No PvP elements whatsoever. And it is hard as hell. All culminating in one of the game's 2 optional super bosses, the other one being the Ancient Dragon, of course, which, again, I still contend is not really worth it. No, 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 no! Well, got killed by random enemies. I'm so good at this game. Black Gulch is a pain to work your way through if you're looking for specific items or shortcuts, kind of like we are now. Well, I shouldn't say kind of, much like we are now. Oh, not now! Dude, bad timing. If you want to throw down, we're doing it on my terms. Come on, then. Oh, yeah, how do you like that magic damage? It's not dark, so it's carving him apart, really. Yeah, hey! That wasn't too bad. Magic's the way to go with these guys, then. Human effigy, good, we're gonna need that. Believe you me. I don't care if we're poisoned, we can take it. Actually, tell you what, we're just gonna sprint on over to the second bonfire. It'll be easier to do from here, probably. God, this area. Great to come through the first time. Not so with successive visits. Here we go. And who should be in here but our old buddy Grandal. And nothing else.
We meet again, young undead.
Oh, I love this covenant, but dude, it's hard.
Seeker. I am Dark Diver Grandal, Seeker of Dark.
This is the only, like, I guess truly Abyss-based faction, or Darkness-based covenant in the series, I'd say, as the Dark Wraiths kind of strayed from their original purpose.
Is dark what you wish for?
Yeah, we'll join the Pilgrims of Dark. And we get his special ring, the Abyss Seal. And he opens a path for us to a special dungeon. Yeah, the Dark Chasms of Old. There's 3 of these. And once we complete each, we'll be able to advance the Covenant and get special rewards from Grandal. He does offer us human effigies and, of course, hexes, in addition to a sorcery that gives us a little source of light. Could be useful. We'll buy his special hex. MC says, kind of wondering what happened to the primordial serpents. I don't know. I think they're referenced more, like, openly in Dark Souls 3, as is everything from Dark Souls 1. We can deconstruct the way that happens when we're in that entry proper. But, they don't get, like, extensive or explicit mentions here. Now, the Dark Chasm of old is, as you'd imagine, very dark, chock full of bottomless pits, and inhabited almost entirely by phantoms of extremely powerful characters, many of whom, like that guy, like good old Havel, or no, an Ironclad Knight, actually, my bad, are direct references to characters from earlier in the series or its lore. A dual-wielding Ironclad Knight. Now that is bad juju. Oh, and he's got backup. Of course he does. Yep, welcome to the Dark Chasms. They're all like this. They're like the ultimate late-game challenges. Oh, it's King Jeremiah! Fancy meeting you here. We can just get rid of the melee character. You got to be kidding me. Okay, I see how you're playing it. Oh, and there's another caster. There's a Prowling Magus. Oh, damn it all. So close. Right, so every time you die, the portal closes and you need to give Grandal an effigy to reopen it. These are meant to be some of the hardest content in the entire game, so I'm actually not gonna get frustrated if we die here, probably. Because they are meant to be hard as all hell. MC says, don't forget Hollow. Oh, I won't. I just promise you this is not going to be the last time we Hollow in this particular, like, little quest line. Yep, there you go, there you go. Once we get into the tower, we will never need human effigies to reverse hollowing again. But I want to clear one of these. Specifically, I want to clear the Black Gulch chasm, so we never have to go back to this area again. Once you clear all 3 chasms, you unlock the super boss. Oh, look at Jeremiah just tearing ass to back him up. And the mages, for that matter. Got him. Now it's time for the real challenge. Late game spellcasters. Yikes. And one who's not that squishy, either. Enjoy. Now what happened to the mages? Nice projectiles, but I like mine just a little bit more, thanks. Whew! Oh, late game pyromancies are so frightening. Well, that almost got him. Alright then, Magus, casting miracles at that. That can't be it, right? It's not. Yeah. Oh, God. This is the way out. That massive chalice, like if we light it up, I think it's like a pot of oil or something, we manage to get out. But it goes deeper. Right now, I'm most interested in getting the hell out of here and meeting Grondel's requirements, so let's light up a torch. And light up the chalice. Or brazier, rather. Wait, now maybe we still need to make it to the end, and that's why there was that other ironclad? Sorry, it's been a while, I totally forget how this covenant works. Aside from, like, clear all 3 chasms, get a special boss and some special gear. Yeah, see the fog door? We want the fog door. The fog door is good. The fog door gets us the hell out of here. I also appreciate that we're an Abyssal Phantom while we're in here as well. That's a nice touch, I think. Meaning, clearly, this is not our world. I see he's got some kind of backup waiting down there. They always do here. Oh, it's them again. It's just the same people. Well, let's get rid of the Magus, and then we can take down Jeremiah. Again. There we go. Yeah, and at the end you're supposed to, like, dive deeper into the dark, I think, and that's how we get home. I hope, fingers crossed. Yes! Okay, that's one of them down. Not the worst one, I don't think. I distinctly remember Havel coming back as a regular NPC in one of these, so it does get worse, but yep, we've gained a rank in the Covenant.
Undead, the dark beset upon you runs deeper than I had imagined. Let us see just how much dark you can endure. You have seen dark that has existed from times long past. What once was a great void of darkness became but fragments. But slowly, the scattered fragments grew.
This is actually very key to the lore of this game in the DLC, especially. Like, the Abyss and the World of the Dark fragmented after we killed Manus. And we get the Resonant Soul Hex, I believe. Does he sell anything new now? No.
May the dark shine your way.
Let's have a look at the text for this hex. Resonant Soul is here, I think? No. Yeah, we've got 2 casts of it now. A hex that distorts the power of life, emits a dark mass at the cost of souls. Can be used even without souls, but at greatly reduced strength, using a chime. We have the great version, and I think you get like a special, like, unique variant of it for completing the entire quest line. Now, we've got 2 more of these. I'm gonna see if we can't take them all on today, but once we hit about 3.5 hours on in total on today's stream, I'm going to cut it for the day. Next we should try the one under Drangleic Castle. I think we might go in reverse order. The one where Havel shows up is the one I'm really afraid of. It's also, like, riddled with pits and the like, I think. while we're here as well, we might want to attune regular spells in place of our hexes, since we're going up against a lot of... Well, no, not Dark Orb. We just don't want to use Dark Weapon, maybe. So maybe, let me see. Heavy Soul Arrow might be a nice one to have. Oh, right. Totally forgot about you, sir. Oddly enough, we perform the standard backstab animation for them instead of the unique one where we, like, just make a cut across the enemy's entire back that we typically use for larger enemies, which,
Finally, you are here, young undead. Now, open the...
He sure gets around.
Undead. A mouth gift.
Using the Abyss as a medium for transportation, I assume. This might be the one with Havel, given all the bloodstains that just appeared. Well, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Back into the Abyss we go. So remember, we gotta find the brazier, light the brazier, then get the hell out of Dodge. Yeah, this is the one with the pits, alright. The world of the dark is oddly beautiful, isn't it? And remember, these are just like cave systems. The entire world is not implied to be like this. Yep, there he is. Oh, hell. Why'd they have to bring you back? Leave that to Dark Souls 3. He's actually been made even stronger, because if you recall, originally Havel did not combo his attacks whatsoever. MC says, and much faster. Yes, he has. Now, he doesn't have even a fraction of the health that the OG Havel did. Oh, and he can heal. Good, good. Looks like magic will stop him in his tracks, which is, I mean, I guess good to know. I tried to parry him. It did not work. Whew. I'm sure there's more than one, though. What are these others? I see someone waiting in there. Oh, and the Magus. The Magus is here again. With a Soul Spear? MC says, even in DS1 you could parry the guy, made him trivial. Well, a lot of things would actually make him trivial in the first game. He was also very, very easy to backstab once you learned the best way, you know, how to execute that maneuver. Not that I'm complaining, of course. Oh, no. Is this Ricard? So I think the theme here is just everybody's fast as hell. MC says, yeah, you can stun lock the backstabs. You can. It's a great deal of fun. And hold on, while I'm here, forget about the gold serpent ring, don't care about that. Give me that stone ring to help me reduce the enemy's poise more easily. There's the fog wall, so the brazier must be the other way. But I saw another phantom over here. And what in the hell is this one? A mage? A caster of some kind? No, it looks like a painted guardian with a pair of show tells. Or desert sorceress, maybe? Bonfire aesthetic. No, that's the way back. Oh, maybe the brazier was behind the blackness on the other side of the arena, and it only opened up once we killed all of the phantoms here. Just don't want to fall in a hole, don't want to fall in a hole, don't want to fall in a hole. I just heard the sound of phantoms summoning in, I think. That or... MCS, would this imply that enemies from DS1 are somehow cloned in the Dark Realm? Well, it sounds like, the way I read it is, they, like, found their way here. They relocated to the Abyss. Like, Havel, for instance, was planning a rebellion against Lord Gwyn after he saw, I believe, how far his lord was willing to go, to sustain his own personal, like, reign. And it's possible that, his soul made its way here. Was claimed by the Abyss. So that's number 2 down. Okay. Havel was horrifying, but we made it, and the other phantoms there actually weren't too bad.
Finally, you're here, young undead. Now, young the emperor.
Hold on. Sorry, I'm checking to make sure I didn't mess that last one up. Mm-hmm. No, we got it. Okay. So now, I don't think he'll give us anything right now, but if we complete the third chasm in the Shaded Woods and defeat the super boss, which is definitely going to take me a few tries. They're pretty special, apparently. We will complete that covenant, marking the first time we've actually progressed or even, like, outright completed a covenant on stream, which is pretty cool. I wish there were more PvE-based covenants, considering how many PvP ones there are. Given that, like, these factions or religions could add so much more intricacy to the lore if you actually get to explore it and their goals in-game. Let me see. Sorry, keep getting distracted. Shaded Woods. We want the Shaded Ruins. Oh, these guys. The absolute worst. Hey, hold on. Sorry. First things first. I should probably go to Majula to level up. Because I do not want to lose my souls in there. Got anything for us, Mr. Lion Tribe? No? It'd be crazy if I could beat this boss. Well, first off, fight it for the first time today, but actually beat it today. It's a really cool looking boss, and has some very interesting implications for the lore. It's hard, though. It's apparently very, very hard. So we could unlock another spell slot, which I'm going to go ahead and do, and then maybe dump the remaining point into Dex. Why not? Yeah. Go ahead and give me, let's see. The Great Heavy Soul Arrow, why not? I'll keep it basic. I remember, like, nothing about the Dark Chasm here. It could be the easiest one in the game, it could be much harder. It could attack us with, like, 4 Howls at once, who knows? Wouldn't put it past Dark Souls. Comes our Lion Tribe buddy. Let's see how our new soul arrows perform against him. Oh, very poorly. They're like very magic resistant, I suppose. It's not just darkness. Oh, did we never depetrify this fine fella? Might as well, before we get cursed. Roll away, roll away, roll away. There we go. Jeez, that's a long animation. What on earth could be in here? Oh, hey, the Lion Mage set and another Fragrant Branch. That's actually not bad at all. I will take it. This is how we access Grondel's platform here.
Fight not, young. The most of the people.
Fortunately, we've got plenty of effigies to offer him. And we just may need all of them.
May the dark.
Okay, deep breaths, let's do this. Oh, we are gonna have to be super careful about pits here. I hear phantoms. Ho. There's a buffed phantom, a normal phantom, and the magus again. Magus appears to be like native to this area or something, and is also the weakest character here. This one frightens me. And it should. It's using Strength Within, I think. That special pyromancy that, like, drastically buffs your offensive capabilities. Well, they're down. Now it's just us and the magus. And then the final phantom guarding the sconce. Oh, is this Ferris? It is! Or no, they're wearing maybe Lucatiel set? No, that is Ferris. How on earth did she get down here? She was a forest hunter. Okay. It is time. We still gotta make it through another layer of the dungeon, though, I think. Oh god, they're back. God, I hate dagger builds. They're so good. Let's use a special healing item so we won't have to consume any of our Estus. Oh, because this is about to get really nasty. You guys ready for this? So you may have noticed that Dark Souls 2 is a little light on mage-based bosses so far, and that's because we're about to fight something that, if I recall, uses all 4 schools of magic, sometimes simultaneously. The Ruler of the Abyss, or the Dweller in the Abyss. Oh god. The Dark Lurker. That is the dark sign it was summoning pyromancies from. Oh my god! Well, this is certainly bonus boss worthy. A dark version of the Soul Spear. Dark Greatsword. It uses a lot of sorceries and hexes in pretty interesting ways. Apparently it's really weak to lightning. Oh, but we've not seen its gimmick yet. Yes, it deals lots of damage. Yes, it's very scary and oddly beautiful. But, that is not the rib here. Oh, what the hell? Oh, here it comes. There's 2 of it. Now, thankfully, they do share 1 health bar. Oh my god. Oh, that attack is the worst. Yeah, it's doing the explosion attack. Well, one of the explosion attacks. Oh my god. No! No, man! Ugh. Oh. Not bad for a first attempt. Really not bad. Yeah, that's not too bad. MC says, the only thing that disappoints me is it's too bright in here. The Four Kings wasn't a great boss fight, but the pitch black is a nice theme. Well, recall though, Dark Lurker actually uses miracles, sorcery, pyromancies, and hexes. So, we'll actually go get that special thing at the Shrine of Amana now, before we head back. So it's fitting that its arena isn't totally dark. Now, I bet if we use lightning, as it's supposedly weak to, we can have a much easier time of that. Now, the bad news is we're going to have to fight through one of those chasm dungeons again. The good news is I think we can just run to the pit at the end and drop down to fight him. Or it, rather. I think it's really cool, though, that this being that embodies the darkness, like the Servitor of the Abyss, isn't some great horrific monster like we may have been led to believe in the first game, or something like Manus. No. Like, one of the most powerful beings associated with darkness we see in the entire series is an angel. So this next tower is guarded in this version, I believe, by undead pyromancers at first. So we want to... Or an undead pyromancer, singular. Wearing the same armor as our pyromancer buddy from the first game, Laurentius. Probably simply meant to be a throwback, not actually the guy. MCS, what if Dark Lurker's the protagonist of the first game, either a clone or one of the two paths? I think we'll get this information once we get its soul, but it's made clear that the Dark Lurker is actually a being spawned from... It is like the Abyss given form. Not something like Manus, but a beautiful, otherworldly angel.
That is what we are called. My name. Do you mean our name? We know nothing of the outside world. We sing eternally for those who bear death and dark within themselves. We have been here forever. We know nothing of the outside world, and we do not need to. The little ones were born from the great dead one, and the great dead one taught us song. We have sung ever since, to comfort those bound by death and dark. This is what we were taught. We hear a song in the distance. You rescued a Milfinito who was taken from us. Take this. We Milfinito thank you.
Oh, a fire seed. That's pretty nice.
That cursed singing. Please accept these as a thank you.
A divine blessing. Very nice.
You poor thing. Take this at the very least.
She's incredibly generous.
This is all that we can do.
You've done more than enough. Thank you very much.
And we
Right, so this special altar here can be used to reverse our hollowing, free of charge. Or no, it normally can. I don't... Do we have to do something? Is there something we've not done?
the little. This is what we were taught.
Well, we can explore a bit more at the very least. Oh wait, no, you can only use that if you have no human effigies. That's right. It will reverse your hollowing if you have no human effigies in stock. These nasties are fighting with chaos pyromancy. His poise is not half bad. I don't know that... I know the one on the bridge above, like the little land bridge above, was not here in the first release of the game. MC says you can't have human effigies in the item box either. Right, no. But it is a great way to help out players who end up burning a lot of lives in this later part of the game, and very understandably so. Just having access to that is, and the treasure around here, of course, is a big, big help. Ah, that's what I thought. I was about to say there should be some treasure here. The Manslayer, which is like a that's either a big sword or... Hold on, I'm going to check on Manslayer real quick, because if so, it might be another cool katana. Yes, it is. It is a katana with a terribly worn blade, appears useless, but in fact coated with deadly poison. The sword has claimed countless victims, and the bloodstains upon its blade have turned to poison. It's the most basic katana in the game, the Uchi katana, with a naturally applied poison buff. It's, by all accounts, really, really good, though I don't think the Dark Lurker would be terribly susceptible to poison. I do still have, yeah, 1 gold pine resin. So I tell you what, to close out today's stream, we are going to give the Dark Lurker 1 more stab with the pine resin. MC says, whoops, poisoned an angel. If only. If only. I think Dark Lurker's soul gives you a ridiculously powerful hex, which would make sense, right? But it's kind of a shame you can't get some kind of weapon from it as well, because it just looks so damn cool. Oh right, it would probably also behoove us to have some slightly better armor equipped. Anything that's just better across the board. The elemental resistance of these things are pretty cool, but Warlock Mask maybe, and then... because it deals almost exclusively dark damage, I think. Also weak to fire, apparently, MC says. Thank you for that. But I was correct that it does have a vulnerability to lightning, right? Because I can use either. Yep, okay. Any information as to which it's more vulnerable to? Oh, he's gonna go ahead and let us level up because we cleared all 3 of the, chasms. Nice. And we get, like, the final level for defeating Dark Lurker, I think. Now we get Great Resonant Soul. Very good. Yep. Let's do it. MC says does not say so both. Okay, well... I'm gonna start with fire, actually, because if I recall, that was what the four kings were weakest to. If that logic holds true, then fire is the way to go here. As he says, it does make sense in a way. Oh, definitely. Definitely so. Get the hell out of here. It's not like this is gonna. These soul arrows are gonna do much good against the game's mage boss, so might as well use them to get rid of this pain before we have to move on to the main event. One thing I appreciate about Dark Lurker is, despite being so powerful, it does telegraph all its attacks very clearly. That could have gone a lot worse. Oh, please don't tell me I have to kill them all. Oh, I do, don't I? Damn it. MC says the Air of Light's caused by a flame after all. No, it makes perfect sense. That, and they are technically representative of humanity, the undead. So it makes perfect sense. Oh, Ferris, I thought we were cool. Guess not. We'll use a single flask. Oh no. No! No! Oh! We've got to kill all the phantoms in whatever dungeon we go back to, no matter what. Every time. Okay, I don't know how I feel about that. In fact, I'm going to go so far as to say I don't think that's a good design decision. I've earned the right to fight this boss. By all means, charge me the human effigy for every attempt if you like, but... don't make me go through the entire rigmarole again. Alright, let's try this one more time. I'm hopeful that if I actually make it to the the Dark Lurker, I can take him down with the help of some, like, weapon buff items. Looked like the irritating phantom with the knives was making its way on over, but no, it's the mages first. Again. Oh, come on. Oh, Ferris is on the attack right off the bat. That's interesting. That should get rid of her. Yep. And now it's just down to one more of the guys with the knives, and I have no idea whom, if anyone, they're meant to be emulating from the series. Not everybody here is, of course. As painful as these guys are up close, it looks like they're not that dangerous when you've got magic and a little bit of distance. Indeed. So, hold up, something else I want to throw in, because I probably should. Inflict more damage and receive less. Might as well. And what was the other one? The dark trochus that, or trochus that increase our dark resistance. Let's do it. We may have to reapply the buff once we get down there, but... Yep. No, no, no. Wrong one. Oh, that... I was about to say, that's gonna suck. Oh, God. No! Forgot I had the staff out. Not the best start to an attempt at this guy. Oof. Oh, it sends the projectile in one portal and it comes out the other. I see. It's such a beautiful design, isn't it? I love its music as well. What's the other one doing? No! Oh, god damn it! They were just much better keeping the pressure on me that time. Right, well, unfortunately I'm running out of time. I am going to have to head out of the house for a bit today, so I'm sorry to say we'll have to cut our stream there for today, but what I think we can do, starting tomorrow probably, during tomorrow's stream, is tackle the DLC, get just a few more levels out of that whole ordeal, and maybe some better armor and the like, and then come back as, like, the final challenge in this particular stream series before the final bosses, and just thrash the Dark Lurker. I make it sound much easier than it's going to be, of course, but that's the idea. So please, join me tomorrow. MC says this is okay, you can't win them all, and it's alright. It's like the endgame super boss. It's meant to be like a supreme challenge. And for something like that, we're doing pretty good. Like, I've been manhandled by much more straightforward bosses. So please, join us tomorrow from 2 to 5 p.m. for more Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. Until then, thank you all so much, and have a wonderful rest of your day, ladies and gentlemen. Goodbye!